Today on the Bigfoot Researchers Journal, we're going to look at several creatures. Check this out.
We're entering the prairie in the same area that we did with the guys. And the bush is a lot different right now than it was from what it looks like. So we're getting ready to go over here and see. Now I have the Osmo set kind of high so that we can see what's going on. But here comes the clearing right now. Here it is.
Okay. Welcome to the Bigfoot Researchers Journal. We are looking at a clip tonight where we're about to enter this prairie. But first, we're going to take a look at this side of it and this side of it. And we're going to see what's there. We're not sure. So you're coming with me. We're going right here and we're going to set the crop. That's the crop box in my workstation. And we're cropping in and oh man. So okay, right here on this end we've got an individual. It looks like an individual, one of the gray guys that blend in. Oh yeah, here's a hominoid right here peeking up, man. This is the side of his nostril. They have these big wide nostrils, and you can see he's really bright white or colorless, but you can see his whole head right here. This is one of them, man. Let's get the brightness up here. We can probably do a little more than that. It's just going to take a second to render. So this is what it is, right? Yeah. See, now we got a really good look at this wild man, right? This is one of these ones that resembles like a caveman. When people say, I saw a caveman. Some of these guys have a different type of head. They have a regular human type of skull instead of having something a little bit higher like this one. You can see he's got this dome on him a little bit here. It's a little flatter. And I've seen human hair on these guys. And I've seen it where it looks like, puff. Whoa, look at this. Oh boy. I just noticed this over here. Okay, so I'm over here looking at this, and these are enormous too. By the way, I'm about this tall. My head's about this big over there. I'm not very big compared to these things. And this, let's take a look at this here. Let me stretch this out a little bit. And we'll try to see if we get any movement here out of that thing. Boy, this guy is definitely catching light. This one, I think, is a little earlier in the clip. Oh, boy, we got eyes. Whoa, look at this eye, guys. It's got a vertical pupil. Look at that vertical pupil. That's crazy. Let's crop in a little bit more. Just a touch. We don't want to get too close. Yeah, we got a vertical pupil here. So this is a huge creature. Look at both eyes. In this one, we can see the, vertical pupil, actually. This thing opens up at night, and this creature has, I'll guarantee you, incredible nocturnal vision. And then we were looking at this one over here, so let's move this over a little bit, and we can get them both. Now here we have an example of how their faces are angled, so it's only picking up part of it now. As we go to the further along, we see he kind of rises up. So when he's a little bit leaned or turned a little more towards the camera, we get mostly this side. He still has this side of his face. Watch this. As the clip develops, we can literally see the other eye there. So the other brow is in there. And man, it's just incredible. They have an angle like to their face, right? And here's that nostril. And it's like that kind of Pacific Northwest tribal oral tradition. They have these markings that are just like this. And this is why these people knew about these creatures. You can see it's got that same kind of very wide, and you can even see just from the highlights. And if you look at the tribal art, you'll see artwork depicting only the shapes where the light catches. You know why? Because people see what I've seen before, man. This thing here, this is enormous. This is crazy, man. And you ain't seen nothing yet. Welcome to the Bigfoot Researchers Journal.
We're entering the prairie in the same area that we did with the guides. And the bush is a lot different right now than it was from what it looks like. So we're getting ready to go over here and see. Now I have the Osmo set kind of high so that we can see what's going on. But here comes the clearing right now. Here it is. There it is. We're here. We did it. We did it. Okay, so we're here. And my Osmo's going crazy. The battery just got knocked down. My battery just got whacked again. So we already had 2 cameras die. Watch the prairie, man. I'm telling you, pay attention because they're watching right now. So down this way, we know we got those big old creatures somewhere. If they're still here, they're being filmed right now. If my camera will stop going skyward.
What we've learned is the second that you enter their habitat, they get into a defensive posture in which they can observe you without being seen. Which is, incidentally, exactly what we catch on film. Alrighty, guys. As you can see, we've caught one, and we've caught him clear enough where you can see as we're entering the prairie. This is the first thing that I catch on film, and there's several good frames, but I'm walking, so he just kind of appears and he's watching me. But you can see even the nose is like right there, perfect. We got this huge hominoid. The eyes would be right in here, the bridge of the nose. It's like that trolley kind of nose. Even his lip appears to be some other individuals, but this guy, this is what they've been protecting. This is it. These are giants. You wanted clear shot? There you go, man. There's your clear shot. The giants exist in Florida forest. Welcome to Crypto Reality. Welcome to the Bigfoot Researchers Journal. Looking at a few creatures on the other side of the prairie. You can see this point coming back here, and then there's a little bit of hair hanging off the front. We got the palm fronds, and they're amidst the palmettos. Imagine this is probably this guy's hand, but you can see his whole head behind that, right? We got a little bit of palm frond. There's some other stuff going on. This footage is incredible, and we're going to go over it, but there it is, man. That's that stuff they say it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Wrong. What's up, guys? We're taking a look at another one here. He's hiding in the bushes. You can see the brow, the nose, the eye, the whole thing. He's been back in that bush watching me as I came into this prairie. And so we're just breaking down, trying to see. We can see we got eye shine in here. And you can see that guy in there, man. He's drifting off camera right there. But we've got so much footage of him across the way here. So here we're looking at a really large creature. You can see half his face right there. It's his mouth and the outline of his whole face. And the rest of it's just behind some weeds right there. There's one in front of him on the ground, but look at this guy. It's nuts. This thing is huge. Let's take a look at this thing close up, and let's see if we can come up with some more frames like this one. Look at that thing. Incredible. It's 160 yards, 170 yards away. And we still got him. Look at that thing. Big ass forehead. Huge creature up in there. It's a nice touch right here. Showing his teeth, man. He's back there. There's an enormous creature right there. Looks like he's gritting his teeth at me. Look at that. Scary, man. So we're looking at this this Bigfoot across the prairie there. You can see his eyes. There's one here and one there, and he's got a little brow going there. There's a couple creatures on the other side, and there's some really strange looking stuff that we're going to be looking at, but I really want you to just take a minute and look at this achromaton, and you can see that it's gleaming off the top, and so the sun is coming down from this way, but we can clearly see that the other part of the gray here is shadowed, and we always say gray, but in sunlight it's got this appearance here, and if he's backing up, it's going to be like this guy. See that bridge of that nose? That's a nostril right there. It's a big one right here, and there's one here. This is crazy looking, man. But look at this thing. I mean, come on, guys. Look at these frames. There he is moving, shifting in place. And there's some other movement over in this area, indications that there are other creatures here. And we can see all of these puffy, gigantic symmetries in different parts. But this guy, I mean, I really like this right here. It's a great shot. And a few frames afterwards, where you can see the sun's catching the actual bone structure. We're seeing the highlight of the actual shape of that cheekbone and how prominent that bone is sticking out, right? A little bit of a highlight off of the side of the bridge. But really incredible frames back in this side. You can literally see this thing's mouth here. And he's got that really drastic musculature that comes down. These are the demons from history. They look just like them. All of our caricaturizations of these creatures are depicted here. I mean, this is crazy. Of demons, you know. People have these things about, the haunted forest and all this. Well, there he is. We're looking at a very big, very scary creature that is blending in. This thing is huge. We're not sure exactly how tall it is yet, but you can see, we're looking at one of the eyes. The forehead is right here. The eyes are there. Then the nose is kind of crunched up, and it's got this big head right here. There's something in front of it laying right here. There appears to be other ones. It's possible you'll see that, but we've been trying to get better footage of these big guys, and it's been very difficult. They blend in so well, these big achromatic individuals, and as we look at the footage, we get that eye is right. You can see where the other one is. It looks like it's either hair or possibly weeds or something. It could be hair, could be something it's holding in front of it itself, but we can see the eye really developed right there, and cheekbone, and then the forehead. And the rest is kind of showing through as we push through the footage. We get the image of this huge face back there. Is this teeth right here? I don't know. We'll see. Definitely huge head, and then it's blending, and we get this bone over here. Look at this bone structure, man. It's crazy. And you get a pretty good estimation of the size right there, and you can make him out right there. Actually, that's him. We can see his head comes up like this. He's got the brow poking out, some hair possibly, but we can see him. Let's get in closer on that, and try to see if we can brighten it up a little bit. And we'll crop in. This is my actual shot, man. This is like as close as you can get, and then your cameras start getting jammed. We're in closer. We're not exactly level where I wanted, but you can see, and it appears that we've got the shoulder of the creature, and then it comes up like this, and you can see here's the bone structure of the side of its face, and a big wide nose, and you can see one of the holes from the nostril, the other one there, and we got this eye and the other eyes there, but you can literally make out his figure, and that is something else. Let me bring this in a little bit closer, and we'll run through this and see if we get any. Oh, we need to stretch this out a little bit on this side, and there we go. We'll let that render, but just looking at this end of it, I would say that that is a very, very big head. Venturing a guess on how big something like that is, my gosh, I don't know, man. We need more frames. Here we go. Moving ahead in the footage. Ooh, we got the eye there for a second. We got a little eye shine right there coming out of that other eye. So we know this thing has got two eyes on us. There it is. Wow, you can literally see the thing's got two, there's two eyes in there watching you. That's pretty improbable unless it's actually there. The symmetry indicates that this thing is really big. There's the eye shine right there. And we've got, this appears to be hair kind of hanging down, and then diffusion, blending, and this isn't a chromaton. This is one of those giant creatures that we talk about. I would say that I'm about this tall in here, and the size of a man is roughly like this. This thing is huge, and it's obviously on the ground, sitting or lying down on the ground possibly. It looks like its shoulders on a different angle now, as we've gone through the footage a little bit. It could be some bushes too in the way, but it's tricky because is this a hand? Are these fingers? Does he have a hand up? Wow. Is this thumb? That would indicate that this could be the arm right here. So this could be this thing with its hand up. Look at that. You can see where it looks like there are fingers there with fingertips. And then part of the nose sticking out on both sides. That is something else, man. And it's real simple if that's what it is. He just put his hand up in his face and nobody could see me. I blend in so well. Look at that. He'd never even know. We need to see those. We need to see those teeth. That's what we need to see. Whoa! Look at that. Oh man. So there he is, and this is one of those white or colorless skinned Sasquatch of Florida. This is an enormous one. This thing's, if it stood up, it's got to, it's got to get up to like right about here, probably, right? If this thing stands up somewhere in here, what is that? That's over 20. That's over 20 feet. I can tell you right now, that creature's over 20 feet tall. And I know there's going to be people out there that have a hard time with this, and they're gonna, right up to the point where they stand up and walk out of the forest because their water supply is tainted. So the nature of the creature's physiology makes it very difficult to study, and this is the way that we've had to find a way in, is examining footage. It's very difficult because of our own human limitations to capture the creatures on film, because most of the time we don't realize they're there, in spite of the fact that they're oftentimes enormous. This particular individual is hiding in the trees. You can see there's some eye shine right there. That's positive confirmation that we're dealing with what I say. You can see the forehead. He's just got some stuff in front of him. Is it weeds? Is he holding something up? I don't know, but he's enormous. And this is the same clip as the giant creature and all the other creatures that we've been reviewing. You can see the smaller creature right there. He's right there. This is just a little bit later in the clip where this big guy has come forward to take a look. And we get some really interesting frames of that creature, and we'll be trying to document that big creature, obviously, in the future again. Breaking up those parts of his face, and if we really look now, we can see its fingers coming up. So he's got his hand up, his buddy's right next to him in the bushes, you can see, and there's a couple of them. They like to be in like a line behind each other, and half a face, and you can't tell what's going on. We can just start learning from this if we take the time. we can see this guy really good. This is what everybody says. I saw Bigfoot, man. There he is. That's the quintessential male patty right there. But that's not the only types that we've been seeing. And some of them have weird stuff going on with their... It's just weird. And so we're trying to study this. And to do that, we have to keep going back. So we fund the study on Patreon. If you're interested in continuing to help us, we've already documented these like regular Bigfoot like this till we're blue in the face. These things are zipping around the prairies and they're enormous. Just so you know, this Bigfoot that, you know, we can all see right there, this thing, if it stood up all the way, it would probably be close to 20 feet tall. I've stood here many times, and I'm about this tall, man. This thing is enormous. This is 160 to 175 yards away from me, and it's no joke what's in those bushes over there. You got these weird creatures. You can see the thing's eyes. It's crazy because we can see the fingers, you know. But you can see his whole thing there, man. You know, he's like pushing up his nostrils. It's ridiculous, you know. We go back and we can see some, in the beginning, we can't really detect any of that. We can see there's probably the fingers right here, you know. But we can see the eye area there. But we don't see that it's this crazy looking wide nose, but it is. When we get to shots, we can see he's got very wide nostrils. You can see the whole nasal cover right there, and the finger appears to be up it, and the other one appears to be in front, and this one I don't even know. So there it is again, man. Every week we go out and we intentionally film these creatures while the whole world ignores the fact that my wife and I, Mark and Melanie Zaskey, have discovered and documented these creatures. What does that tell you about the world you live in? That every week we do the same thing, showing these creatures, and sometimes the same creatures, and nothing is being done about it, including the people that claim they want this discovery to come out. We'll see you next week with more footage of the creatures everybody says doesn't exist. Have a great week.